All right. So, how many times have you had experiences with companies, people that either cause you to be raving with excitement because they did such an exceptional job and completely, I like the term, wowed you, versus somebody who just makes you just shake your head and go, oh my goodness, like, I don't ever need to do business with these guys again. Like it's interesting for I'm going to give you a couple examples and then I'm going to go into this, how to create this wow customer experience with your customers. And this is honestly this training is super viable for anyone who sells anything, regardless of whether you're in network marketing or not. So I'll tell you a couple quick stories as I get into this. So my my kid got hit by a car in the parking lot, not badly. He didn't get hurt. And through the insurance company, we had to, deal with all that stuff. We put it in, we take his car into the auto, whatever you call it, the auto repair, whatever I can't even, it's early, excuse me. I can't remember the exact word, the collision place, excuse me. So point number one, we drop the car off and we come to find out within 2 days that they're not even going to work on his car for 4 weeks, which the car drove fine. They could have easily said, hey, why don't you drop your car off on Monday, January 22nd, and we'll start working on it that week. So now my kid is with, first of all, I mean, when you got an 18-year-old kid, they can't even drive a rental car. So you got to be 25 to drive a rental car. So boom, that was 1 point against them. Then it took forever for them to do it. They got the job done. We go and pick up the car and his seatbelts weren't working. There was this massive mark on his door. They're like, oh, what do you want us to do about it? Like, it was the first thing he noticed when he got in his car. They weren't going to do anything about it. They tried to deny it. I had them order another side panel for his door, inner side panel for his door. The one that they ordered was probably out of a junkyard. It looked probably 2 times worse than my kids did. And I was like, I'm not going to have it. And by the way, I'll keep this story short. It was pathetic. It was so unbelievably pathetic that I ended up taking it. I took it up to the regional manager. Come to find out, the guy who said he ordered another side panel, and this is now I'm waiting like 6 weeks, 7, 8 weeks later, still never ordered the side panel. He told me he ordered the side panel. I take it to the regional manager because I don't see any record of. I'm like, dude, here's the deal. Like, I'm not a complainer, but I'm about to complain in the biggest and loudest way. And I know this isn't your fault. You're the regional guy. Honestly, you should probably fire that general manager. He's like, do you want a job? I'm like, no, dude, I'm unemployable. So, bottom line, this guy, that second on the phone, I ordered it. It'll be here within 7 days. I'll call you as soon as it gets in. And it's just so interesting, the difference between these two individuals. And I could sit here and give you countless examples of personal experiences in my life. And I think it would be good for you guys on the, as I'm teaching on this subject this morning, to think about, like, when somebody, it's the same thing. I've done an exercise multiple times through my A-team coaching program. And this is, I'm mentally bringing this up because this is not an exercise I've ever had anybody do. It's similar to this, but when you have had an experience with a company, a person, a business that just surprises the heck out of you in the most amazing way, and it's just like, wow, this is incredible. I think it's worth spending time to pause and to reflect and go, okay, what did they do here? Like, how can I replicate what they did here? And so, like, I would just say, if you want to have your customers raving about you, become raving fans. Raving fans are great because they go tell other people about you, and business becomes, you got business coming your way left and right because of the experience that you provided that individual. And there's a very, very big difference. I trained on this on, I don't remember, Friday or Saturday, I did a 2-day training in Dallas. And I talked to this audience about the difference between customer service and customer experience. Like, customer service is typically, reactive and problem focused. And then, a customer experience is, I don't know, I guess proactive would be the term for that. So, a great question to ask yourself, and this, for those of you that are involved in network marketing, you could ask yourself the same questions with regard to you being, a good sponsor, upline leader. Uh, and I love this question as well. In what ways can I wow? In fact, I have it up here on. I'm not going to move the camera. I have it up here on a post-it note that just says "Wow them." In what ways can I wow my customers? In what ways can I wow my, you know, personally enrolled distributors, or, anybody on the team? Like, how can I so far over deliver from what their expectations are, that they're like, oh my gosh, like, it's just unbelievable what these guys are doing, these people are doing. So, I just, it would be really good to start taking an inventory of experiences that you have that are either impeccable and incredible, and what was it about those experiences that made you like feel the way that you do? And then, okay, how can I, and this is kind of where it goes into the similarities between this exercise that I do for A team. How can I be more like these people? And then on the other hand, like when somebody does something that's not so good, like this collision repair place, how can I completely avoid being like that individual or that company? And it was cool because in this case, this guy, and it happened. It was interesting. It happened so fast. Like this general manager was so pathetic, so unbelievably pathetic. Lied to my face, told me he ordered the thing. He knew I was frustrated. He just completely dropped the ball. Like, I will never, in spite of even the regional manager helping me out, I'll never do business with them ever again. And it's interesting. We didn't have a choice to go. That's where the insurance company directed us to take the car. But like, I ended up looking at them on Yelp, and they've got like, less than 1 star, and it, apparently has to do with the GM in the location close to me. So that would be a good future exercise. If you haven't done that before, just taking the time to, like, pause for a moment, reflect on the experience, whether good, bad, or indifferent. And I mean, even an indifferent experience would be worthy of, like, okay, well, yeah, it was all right. Yeah, they delivered the product. Yeah, it was fine. That's not the kind of experience that you want to provide for somebody. So, uh, pull out your journal, reserve a space in your journal. The way I've done the exercise when I run A team, it is similar, but it's not the same exercise. Is on the left side of the page, upper, so just take a piece of paper, strip it down the middle, upper left, just like, businesses that, exceptional businesses that wowed me. I don't know how you want to verbalize it, do it whatever way you want to do it. And then on the right side of the page, I guess, businesses that suck. I don't know that's probably a good term. So the like going to direct, oh, I get the, going, this will work for network marketing or not network marketing. It's like, what kind of impression, like, we've all heard the phrase, like, you only have one chance to make a good impression. Like, what kind of impression are you leaving a really memorable, lasting first impression when somebody, purchases from you? And okay, again, I'll take it in two different directions. Either purchases a product from you in your network marketing business, or they sign up with you as a rep in your business. And like, what kind of experience did that person have with you? Like, for example, like, we're looking on the distributor end. Okay, the person signed up and you signed them up, got him going, they got a distributor ID number, and then you didn't call them for 2 weeks. How do you think they're feeling? It's like, oh, he got my money, signed me up, and I haven't heard from him. They're already in the process of backing out. Versus, okay, I signed you up today, boom, immediately I got you introduced to my business partner, my upline, My other leader, the top earner in the company, put you into a Facebook group, had everybody welcome you there, immediately held your hand as I got you through some basic training and showed you the way rather than pointed my finger and said, there's the way. Hope you figure it out for yourself. So little things like that, they're going to remember that stuff. I don't know what happened to my computer. Okay. Just want to, let me make sure. Well, that was weird. Let me make sure I'm still live here. Okay. I think I'm still live. Hang on one second. Let me put my glasses on. Wait, I believe I am. I'm never buying another Hyundai because of a lousy deal. You know, it's interesting. That's sad for Hyundai because they it's not the car manufacturer. It's the dealership that you dealt with. And that clearly has spoiled you on Hyundai. I mean, honestly, like some of the Hyundais that they're pumping out these days are pretty freaking nice, man. I mean, I was in a buddy, I think it's Hyundai that makes their upper brand is Genesis. I mean, some of those cars are pretty sweet, but yeah, I mean, here's an experience. Like the dealership created an experience that was so negative that you won't even buy a Hyundai again, even though it has nothing to do with the Hyundai corporate. Or you could go to a completely different car dealer and have a completely positive experience. So yeah, we just have to realize like the impact, and unfortunately, the impact that negative experiences leave on people is oftentimes more overpowering than a positive one. It is what it is. Like people thrive on drama and just whatever. They just thrive on what you're driving by an accident on the freeway and everybody stops and has to look. I don't know. And say like even the news, for example, the news is just negative. There's not a lot of positivity in the news. So I don't know. The first thing I would say is like, okay, so you signed up a new rep or you got a new customer. What are you doing with that person? Like, what's the first thing that you're doing? If I were to sit down with you one-on-one right now and say, okay, so tell me what you're doing with your customers. Tell me the exact steps that you take with your customers, or tell me exactly what you do with your reps. Like you should be methodical. You should have A, B, C, D. You should and repeat that every single time. And if you can create an experience and have that first impression be so memorable and so lasting, they're going to likely continue to do business with you in the future versus somebody who, the thing is versus somebody who just completely disappears. Like when I was training on this subject, I got a chance to train for like 2 hours on Friday and I think almost 2 hours on Saturday. So I got a chance to dig in a little bit deeper than, 20-minute deal or an hour-long keynote or something like that. But it's like, what, again, here's and I have no notes in front of me. So if I'm a little, excuse me, and it's my first video since prior to the weekend. So had a chance to take yesterday off and ski with my lady and recoup a little bit. So when you sign up a customer, if you are to, and honestly, whether you're going to personally deliver the product, in other words, here's the cash or here's the check, or here's a credit card, here's, like an actual exchange. Most of the time that doesn't happen in network marketing anymore. It does, but it doesn't happen a majority of the time. The customer orders from the company ships the product, and you don't have control of that. Now, even as I think about that, I remember the first time that I bought, like I'm all Apple now. I was Dell for a long, long time. They actually, I stopped doing business with Dell. I had done like tens of thousands of business with Dell, and they blew it with me one time. And it was just, they were so, the way they handled that situation was so bad that I switched to Apple that day. I literally took a brand new computer that they shipped me that didn't work and they weren't going to do anything about it. And I threw it in the trash. But going back to that Dell versus Apple example, now, when I would get a Dell computer, it would have like, the cable, all the stuff was in the box. The cables were in there, all the stuff. But the way the box was so messy. Every single time, every computer, I probably bought 15 Dells over the years. every single time. Like I get it, and fine. There were this for the most part, except for this last one. You know, all the stuff was in there, and the computer worked. But it was always just messy. It was just like all this junk and stuff. And I remember, and I actually did a video on it. The very first Apple laptop that I got, I opened it up, and any of you guys that own Apple, whether it's an iPhone or a MacBook or whatever it is, the way that they package stuff is like incredible. Like it's so tight, it's so perfect, it fits perfect. It's just like I remember opening up this laptop and going, "Oh my gosh, like I've never seen such attention to detail when it comes to, you know, the packaging of a product." And it just that immediately wowed me on, you know, Apple and their thinking from, okay, this person bought this computer and now we're delivering it to them. It's just, again, if you're an Apple person, you know exactly what I'm saying. If you're not an Apple person, maybe one day you will be, and then you'll see. But you don't control how your company packages stuff. You know, I've purchased network marketing products for 6 years. And some of them, I mean, they just throw crap in a box and it's just in there and it's leaking and lids are open and it's bouncing around in the box. And then the other ones have like amazing attention to detail. They're packaged tightly. Sometimes there's like a welcome card or a thank you, or they just take the extra step. And that little extra step can oftentimes make the biggest difference. So no, okay. So in those examples, if you don't control that, then okay, fine. What can you do? Like you can do, okay, let's say you bought product from me, ordered on the website. I know, and you should know this. If you don't, you should know how long on average it takes for a customer to get your products from the moment of ordering to delivery to their home. 3 to 5 days, 5 to 7 days, 10 to 14 days. You should know that. And I'm going to put a new customer in my calendar. If I know it takes let's say it takes 3 days on average. Today's Monday. And so maybe it's typically going to get there Wednesday or Thursday. I'm probably going to call that customer on Wednesday and say, "Hey man, did you get your box yet?" And I will also, because this is just what I would do, and I've been teaching this for a long time, is I would tell my new customer, "Hey, do me a favor. When you get the box, give me a call or send me a text message. I want to go through it with you so you know exactly how to use this stuff." And just that in and of itself is going to make the consumer go, "Wow, this person cares." It's not like they just got my money and then they're expecting me to figure it out. There's so many things so many little steps. I would say, and I said this on stage on, I don't know what, Friday or Saturday, whatever day it was. Like communication to me is the key to success in personal relationships with your spouse, significant other, kids, team, customers, anything. And so again, if you want to be the person that just creates this experience where they're talking about you, not in a negative way, where they're talking about you and they're going, "Wow, man, I've never even done business with anybody that's taken this much time and cared this much." They're going to, again, like we spend all of this time working to get a customer or working to get a rep. So there's really only in network marketing, there's really only two things that we do. If we really strip it down, we get customers and we get reps, and then we do everything in our power to retain those customers and to retain those reps. So what you do post transaction matters as much, if not more, than what led up to the transaction. And I think a lot of people end up going, "Oh, well, I got their business." They take a sigh of relief. They're like, "Got it. Cool. Success." And like, for example, anytime you can personalize the experience is another good thing. Like if I was shipping you product, if I was like, "Okay, you're a brand new customer, I'm shipping you product out of my inventory." Again, we don't do that so much in network marketing these days. Not that it doesn't happen. It most certainly does. And I think if you got some, like you have a lead product, whatever that product is, it's a good idea. Let's say you have your, I don't know, the product. Like a lot of companies have like their lead product. And if you know what that lead product is, having a box or a case or bottles or whatever of it on hand so that you're talking about it with somebody and they're like, hey man, yeah, I want that right now. Okay. I'll come over to your house shortly. And if I was going to go deliver it to your house, walk over to your house, I'm going to come over there I'm not going to just hand you a bottle of this stuff. I'm going to probably have it in a nice box, neatly wrapped, not necessarily with wrapping paper, but neatly placed inside of that box. I would probably have, at the very least, a Post-it note with some very simple instructions, maybe a card, a little handwritten card that says, hey man, really appreciate you trying out my products. Here's a couple things to think about, whatever. Like, just rather than here's the box, here's the money. Like, just ask yourself right now, am I just doing the exchange, or am I doing anything extra? Is there anything extra that I'm doing? Because it's the little extra things that make the biggest difference. So any way that you can personalize it is always a good thing. And this all comes down to the concept of under promise, over deliver. Somewhere in my history, many thousands of moons ago, heard, under promise, over deliver. Well, if their expectations are here and you come in here, then you have a recipe for success. And I think this goes with anything that we do in life, in or out of business. I mean, I'll give you a non-business example that's kind of funny. So I'll give you two of them. Well, I mean, I don't want to out these people. Okay. So I have visitors. I've always had a home where we've got, a really nice extra space for visitors. Like the house I'm in now has a totally private suite that's off of the rest of the house where they can have their own private time if they want. I had guests one time that just left the house. I'll just say they left the house. It was like a tornado came through my house. A tornado came through my house. I'll leave it there. I'm not going to go deeper into it than that. It just, wow. Okay. You're not coming back again. So, and then, my nephew came and visited, and we just had guests this last week too. My sister and brother-in-law, my nephew, which is her son, my nephew, who has come a long way, who's doing incredibly great in life. He went through some struggling times in his life. He paid a visit to us one time. And this is kind of like him getting out of the, I would say, immaturity and struggles of his life, right? He was like in the transition. And he, when he left, he like stripped the bed, took the sheets off the bed, took the pillowcases off of the pillows, put them in a nice little pile. It's not like I'm expecting you to do that. Cause when you leave, we're going to strip the bed and we're going to watch the stuff. That's kind of gross when you're like sleeping on the same shit. I know some people do that, by the way. They have guests over, they sleep in the guest bed, they don't change the damn sheets, and then their next guest is sleeping in somebody else's skin fluff stuff. That's just gross. But like, he didn't have to do it, but he, in my opinion, he over delivered. I do that. If I spend and I've spent the night at people's houses many times. I stripped the bed. I put the sheets in a nice pile. Even this weekend, leaving a hotel room. And I will tell you, it's interesting. The same couple that left the tornado in my house. I was at an event one time and they invited me into their hotel room. And I looked at their hotel room and I was like, what in the hell happened in here? It was like, it looked like a rock band that came in and just was into demolishing stuff, like went through the room. And it was like, I was in their room at like 2 a.m. and I'm like, when are you guys flying out of here? They're like, oh, we have a 5:30 flight. And I'm just like, I didn't say anything, but I'm like looking around. I'm like, this place is a wreck. I mean, a wreck. Like, I wish I could have taken a picture of it because it was that bad. I don't know about you, but I'm in my hotel room. Like, I'm making sure that the trash is in the trash can. I don't have bottles over here and plastic wrappers over here and stuff on the floor. I don't strip my bed in the hotel room, but like the stuff, the towels are taken down and they're put in a nice little pile. I know. Yeah. I'm sure I'm paying for the person to come in there and do it. And I'm not asking for any kudos or, hey, getting a letter back from the housekeeping department. I just like, I don't know, like, how would I want somebody to leave my room? And you do you, but like, I treat my hotel room like I treat my house, and I have respect for my house. And again, a little off subject, but it's the same thing. It's like, you know, here's the ultimate question, or here's the question: in what ways can I over deliver with my reps, with my customers? It's just sit down with your journal and sit down and go, okay, in what ways? I'm not going to sit here and give them to you. You need to think about this for yourself. In what ways can I over deliver on the expectations of the people that I do business with? I do think another thing is surprising them. So, like, okay, here's another question: in what ways can I surprise them? Like little surprises. Like I was in, where was I? I don't remember where I was. Anyhow, it's like I live in a hotel. So I don't live in a hotel, but I'm in hotels a lot. And like, it's interesting. Like, I've had really great hosts. Like I had great hosts this weekend. They're amazing. They're just great people. And just took me out to dinner, sang me happy birthday in English and in Spanish, which was great. Just treated me well. Like I was asked multiple, is there anything I can get for you? Can I, and I'm pretty low key. Like I'm not like a prissy speaker that's like, oh, I need this. And this needs to be provided to me. Like, I just like, give me a bottle of water and I'm good. But it's just like that experience. And I don't have like these incredibly high expectations. I don't, as a speaker, don't have these. You need to have a gift basket in my room, or you need to pick me up in a limousine to the airport. Like my flight on the way over was delayed by like 8 hours. So I was supposed to get in at like 4 p.m. and I didn't get in until 1 a.m. So I wasn't going to have my host, he had to do the event the next day. I'm like, hey bro, I just took an Uber over there. So, oh, thank you for allowing me to take a sip of my coffee. But again, this is just like such an interesting conversation to have. Like, okay, going back specifically to customers, like follow up with customers. There are a number of things that I purchase on a monthly basis where the person that sold me whatever that is, I'm not going to get into details. Just like I buy a lot of stuff that I use or whatever. And there's even as I'm thinking like, oh, I haven't actually heard from you in way over a year. Like regular monthly purchasers for a long time, like I'll just say more than 10 years. And nothing. So your follow through, we teach follow up, I teach follow up all the time when it comes to prospecting, getting back to your person as quickly as possible. I'm not going to get into that today, but what about after the transaction? Like, what is your, ongoing engagement and follow up with a person that purchased product from you? Like if you get somebody onto, and I'm using product, this could be service, whatever. But if somebody buys a product from you and they are, they're on auto ship or smart ship or auto delivery, whatever it might be called in your company, you can't make that customer. Okay. First month, the first month that they buy from you, and Jeff Roberti, I saw him speak about this one time. This is the way he phrased it, and I think this is very accurate. Guy's made more money than most people in network marketing. He probably has one of the largest consumer bases in network marketing. The first time somebody buys from you, you've made a sale. You made a sale. Good job. If they buy from you month 2, month 3, month 4, and so on, that's when they become a customer. They're not really a customer after they bought a box or a bottle or a sachet or whatever. If they repeat purchase from you, that's a customer. You should look at that person as a high value individual. The other thing is no one can predict the future. You don't know whether that person that is just buying $50 a month from you could lead you to your biggest distributor, or in the future become your biggest distributor. I know people in network marketing that are high level 7-figure income earners that either first swore off they would never touch network marketing, but found a product through network marketing that had such a dramatic impact on their life. And even through the dramatic impact on their life, they still were like, I ain't doing this thing. I mean, here, I'll give you a quick example. So this woman, Kathleen, I interviewed her in a very early series that I did when I started speaking. It's called The Dynamic Divas of Networking. In her story, she owned this executive office furniture place. And, like, she was very successful in that. Was, for whatever reason, I don't recall, but was like anti-MLM. Nope. And she had major back problems. And she ended up, there was a company that had these magnetic devices. She ended up purchasing this product retail from, an individual. And it changed her life so much that, and she, if I recall correctly, because again, this interview was done over 15 years ago, she was signed up as a rep, but had zero intention of doing anything in the business, like none. But like, she found herself, even though she's like, I ain't ever doing network marketing, it's not my thing. She was pretty anti-MLM. She got such great results in the product that she ended up, like, she was sharing the product with other people because it had such a profound impact on her life. 12, 13, 14 months later, she's like making $4,000 a month. I remember it was like right around $4,000 a month. And she thought to herself, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm making $4,000 a month, not even doing this as a business, just sharing this product with people. I got friends of mine that work full time that don't make $4,000 a month. And so she's like, oh, well, what if I actually did this? And because she had such a positive experience on the product, it caused her to go reach out to other people or to, provide a solution to people. And ultimately the result was so good that she couldn't help herself. She was just like, I got to tell people about it. And then seeing the results, even though she swore she would never do network marketing, she had to, she's like, I got to do this. And she became an incredibly successful person in network marketing. So the reason I share that story, and I'll finish here shortly, is if you treat your customers with an incredible amount of respect and you value them and you show it through all of your actions, through everything that you do, that it's not just a number, that it's not just money in your pocket, money in your bank. You value that human being. And by the way, human beings by nature need to be wanted, needed, valued, and appreciated. And if we don't show that value, we don't show that appreciation, they will go elsewhere where they feel valued, where they feel appreciated. And I'll leave with one example. I've probably given this example on a live at some point in the past, but I'll give you an example from the workplace. Okay. Now, granted, I understand that a majority of people that are plugged into me are involved in network marketing, in direct sales, but I got other people. And a lot of you guys that are involved in network marketing still have jobs. Most people in network marketing are part-time. So imagine this scenario, okay? And this is a made-up scenario, but just imagine, I want you to, and this is the last story I'll finish with. Imagine this scenario. You work for a company and you're on a salary and you're Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, as an example. Working 9 to 5. Okay, that's it. I can't sing. So you only work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And the boss comes to you. As soon as I start sharing the story, it makes me think of Office Space. If you've never seen that movie, it's hilarious. So the boss comes to you on Friday and says, hey, look, we have a project that we've got to get completed. And if we don't complete it, it's going to be bad for the company. I really need you to come in on Saturday. I know it's your day off. I know you're not getting paid anymore, but can you come in and help us finish this job? And begrudgingly, because you don't want to lose your job, you're like, okay, you show up and you go do it. So you work all day on Saturday. You show up, and I'm going to go two different directions here. You show up on Monday, back into the office. The boss who asked you to come in didn't show any appreciation, just said, hey, good morning, whatever, maybe even ignored you. I don't know, whatever, but didn't mention anything. No thank yous, no appreciation, no nothing. And I mean, you had plans on Saturday and you had to cancel those plans with your family that had been planned for months before. And you greatly sacrificed in order for you to go be there for this company that didn't pay you. And then you go in on Monday and the dude's like, doesn't say anything, doesn't show any degree of appreciation whatsoever. If in the future that guy comes back to you again and says, hey, I need you on Saturday, you're going to be sick, man. You're going to have the flu. You're going to have something. You're going to be in the hospital. You're very unlikely to do it. Now, on the other hand, if this is down the other road. So on the other hand, the guy, you get into work and he's like, hey, can you come into my office for a second? Close the door. And you're like, oh crap. What? Okay. What's up? He said, look, can you have a seat? Listen, I realize that you did not get paid to come in here on Saturday, and where the company is at this point, we can't afford to pay you extra days. But the fact that you came in, let me just tell you, we would not have finished that project had we not had your hard work and effort that you put in all day on Saturday. I realize that you probably had other things to do, and the last thing you want to do is come into work, but I just want to thank you from me personally, from the company at large, for coming in here and like helping us save this client. You literally helped us save this client. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate the fact that you took time out of your weekend to come in here unpaid and help us. And so I wish there was something more that I could do, but I just thank you. You helped save the day. Now, two totally different experiences. What if in the future he said, hey, can you come in on Saturday? Because he showed so much appreciation and made you feel great. I mean, you didn't get paid. You may still not want to go in on Saturday, but I can guarantee you, you're far more likely to go in there and do it because they showed that they valued, appreciated you, wanted you, needed you. And so again, I'm going to wrap this up because I know this is a long one, but I haven't been live for a little bit because I was traveling all week. This is an important conversation for you to have with yourself, to take a personal inventory on what you're doing in your business with your customers, with your reps. A lot of stuff we do in this business, we have to get real with ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves. It can be super easy, man, to just kind of roll through and kind of just doing the work and, doing the I don't know, doing whatever's, it's not even, there's nothing expected of you because you're self-employed, but just kind of going through the motions. But if you can do everything in your business, in your life, with this thought process of like, I'm going to wow, I'm going to far over deliver, I'm going to surprise them, I'm going to make sure that they feel well taken care of, that they feel wanted, valued, needed, and appreciated at all levels, you can't help but win. It would be in anything, in or out of business, you can't help but be victorious. So those are my thoughts for the day, my friends. I appreciate you guys for plugging in. I will pop back in here at some point, take a look at comments, and hope you're having a beautiful Monday. I got a crazy busy day today, so I'm going to get on with it, but I wanted to pop on here for a little bit and just have a chat with you guys. All right. We'll see you next time.